Okay, chapter 1 of the Nicomachean Ethics by Aristotle. This is an enhanced version of the first chapter. So, summary: all human activities aim at some good, with the chief good being that which everything ultimates. Goals are either the activity itself, for example, dancing, or a tangible result, for example, a ship. Master arts have more valuable ends than subordinate arts, which exist only to serve them. This ultimate goal belongs to political science, which governs society and encompasses all practical fields, representing humanity's highest good. The discussion can only offer a rough outline since it concerns justice and conduct. The discussion can only offer a rough outline since it concerns justice and conduct, and young people lack the experience needed for this moral philosophy being too governed by passion. Okay. Every skill, every area of study, and every action or choice we make is aimed at achieving something good. This is why people often describe the ultimate good as that which everything aims towards. There's a clear difference in what we aim for. Sometimes our goal is simply the activity itself, and other times our goal is to produce something as a result of that activity. When we aim to produce something beyond that activity, that product is more valuable than the activity itself. Since there are many different activities, crafts, and fields of study, there are also many different goals. For example, the goal of medicine is health, the goal of shipbuilding is to create a ship, the goal of military strategy is victory, and the goal of household management is wealth. When different activities or skills fall under one main skill, for example, making bridles and other horse equipment falls under horsemanship, and horsemanship falls under the military art, the goal of the main skill is always more important than the goals of the smaller skills beneath it. This is because we pursue the smaller skills in order to achieve the goal of the main skill. For this comparison, it doesn't matter whether the goal is the activity itself or something we create through that activity, as we saw in the examples above. Since there is one ultimate goal that we want for its own sake, and everything else we want is just a way to reach that goal, and if we always kept choosing things for the sake of something else, we would go on forever, making our desire pointless and empty. So this ultimate goal must be the chief good, in other words, the best thing of all. So knowing what this ultimate goal is should really matter for how we live our lives. Just like archers shoot better when they can see their target, we'll make better choices if we know what we're aiming for. That's why we should try to figure out what this goal is and which area of study it belongs to. You would naturally think this ultimate goal belongs to the most important and all-encompassing field of study. This field is politics. Politike. Polit in Greek. Politics decides which subjects should be taught in society, who should learn them, and how well people need to know them. We could also see that politics includes other highly respected fields, such as military strategy, household management, and the art of persuasive speaking or the art of rhetoric. So since politics uses all other practical fields of study and also sets the rules for what people should and shouldn't do, its goal must include all the other goals. This means it aims at the good of humanity. Even if the good is the same for one person and for the entire community, achieving it for the community is clearly more important and worthwhile. It's satisfying to help even one person reach this goal, but to do it for a whole nation or society is nobler and more divine. These are the topics this book will cover, and it's part of political philosophy. I'll consider my explanation successful if I make things as clear as the topic allows. We can't expect the same level of precision in every discussion, just like we can't expect it in every kind of craft or handiwork. The ideas of what is noble and just, which political philosophy studies, are so debatable and unclear that some people think these concepts are just social conventions, not natural truths. Even things we all agree are good can be problematic in a similar way. Since they can actually harm people, some have been destroyed by their wealth and others by their courage. So when we talk about these topics, we have to accept that we can only give a rough outline of the truth. Since we're discussing general principles and working from general examples, we could only reach general conclusions. You should approach what I'm saying with this same understanding. An educated person knows how much precision to expect in each topic based on what the topic allows. It would be silly to accept a mathematician who tries to convince you instead of proving things with logic. It would be equally silly to demand rigorous, logical proofs from someone teaching the art of persuasive speaking. People are good judges of things they know about. So someone who has been taught about a specific topic can judge it well, and someone with broad education can judge many things well. This is why young people aren't ready to study moral philosophy. They haven't lived enough to understand how life really works, and everything we're discussing is based on real life experience. Also, young people tend to act on their emotions and impulses. So even if they listen to these lessons, they won't really hear them or benefit from them. The goal here is to learn how to live well, not just know facts. It doesn't matter whether someone is young in age or acts young. The problem I'm talking about isn't about how old they are. It's about letting emotions control the decisions and chasing after whatever catches their attention. For people like this knowledge won't help them, just like it won't help people who can't control themselves. But for those who shape their desires and actions based on reason, learning about these topics will be very valuable. That's enough introduction. I've covered 3 key points: who should study the subject, how you should approach what I'm saying, and what we're trying to achieve. If you're interested in bonus content, audio podcasts, study guides, glossary of key terms, then you could definitely check it out. You could also listen to this podcast on YouTube and on Spotify. If you're interested in this whole book, I will be building it out completely enhanced with tables, charts, images, so that you can have a better reading experience of the Nicomachean ethics and everything else in philosophy. If you're interested, go to Edeneum Network, where you could sign up for the newsletter and, of course, be part of a community where you'll be able to have this for free. Enjoy and see you next video.